Welcome to the Healthpreneur Podcast. My name is Yuri Elkaim, New York Times bestselling author, former professional athlete, and founder of Healthpreneur, the world's leading company helping health and fitness experts start and scale high-end coaching businesses. If you want to attract more clients, learn how to convert them without feeling salesy, and deliver an amazing program for them on the back end, if you want to be inspired by what others just like you have gone through and how you can do the same no matter what life throws your way, then you are in the right place, because every single week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're going to be bringing you the best to help you take your knowledge and expertise to the next level with your health or fitness coaching business. And if you enjoy what you see and hear and would like to take your business to the next level, then I invite you to check out our free online training over at healthpreneurgroup.com/training. And for now, let's get into today's episode. Hey, what's up, guys? Yuri here, and I'm really excited for this conversation. I've got one of our rockstar inspiring clients, Jenn Edden, on the line with me, and I couldn't be more pumped because she has been an absolute inspiration for so many other clients that we serve, and I'm just really excited to highlight her, feature her, and really talk about her journey. So, Jenn, welcome to the show here.
Thank you, Yuri. That intro, I so appreciate that.
Awesome. I obviously doesn't do you justice, so I'm gonna give you a second. Can you tell our viewers and listeners, just introduce yourself? Like, who are you? What do you do? And just give them a bit more context around that.
All right, sure. I'd be happy to. So my name is Jenn Edden. I specialize in sugar addiction, helping busy entrepreneurial women really learn how to dial in their sweet tooth, their wine, right? But without all this dieting and this deprivation. And I've been in the health world about 15 years now. It took me 15 years to find you, Yuri. And I love what I do. I've got a family of 5 total. I got 3 kids and a husband. And this has been the missing piece. I just can't say enough. So I know we'll dive into that. But I love my work. I love what I do. I love my family. And now having a business that really is streamlined has been the missing piece. So I'm very grateful.
Great. So why sugar addiction? Like, what was your big motivation to want to do what you do?
Oh gosh, like so many practitioners who are going to be listening right now. I mean, that's just what I struggled with as a kid. I was super sick, super anxious, gastritis, grinding of teeth, kind of normal in my house to go through rows of Oreo cookies as a kid, not really knowing that anxiety is directly linked. You know, and that stuff goes on as a kid, you kind of overlook it. But then when you're in your 20s and you still have problems, you really start to take a deeper look, or at least that's what I did. And like so many people, you know, it's hard to go to doctors and others while they have their place. We're the ones who really can find the solutions for ourselves. And so after I healed myself, it was time.
That's awesome.
It was time to really bring it out into the world in a bigger way. I don't really know that many people that specialize in sugar. It's weight loss, it's this, it's that, but I am the sugar expert because I've been recovering, awesome. You know, so yeah, thanks.
So you have this message, you want to really get it out to people. What did you want to achieve with your business? And what problem or problems were you facing as you were starting your business or growing it?
That's so great. So for me, it's about a movement. It's about starting with, for sure, entrepreneurial women like myself who don't really have the time to figure all this stuff out. Mm-hmm. But then for me, the bigger thing is as I grow my business and have grown my business, it's reaching the children, it's reaching the next generation. So I know for me, the women hold the key. So, you know, they have the children. So for me, it's really just spreading the bigger message that you don't need to live with your circumstances, that food heals on a really, really deep level. And, did you ask me my struggles?
Yeah, like business-wise, like what were you struggling with? What was the challenge that you were facing before you kind of came into our world?
Having a larger reach, but in a way that felt authentic for myself, right? There's so many different people out there, which God bless them, selling everything. And, you know, everyone has what resonates with them. But for me as a busy mom, when the health of my family is really number one, as well as the health of myself, I just didn't find any other solutions that fully resonated. And I mean, you don't know this, but one of the beautiful things I'll just say real quick, you know, Yuri is extremely congruent. And so I look for congruency. And I need my mentors and my coaches to be congruent and to live as healthy of a life as me, if not more. And so that was a big piece. And staff and everyone that, supports the entire HBA program, they're healthy as well. So
yeah,
just congruency matters. Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't sell hair care products. So
good one. Good one.
Thank you for saying that. So
you're welcome.
You want to improve your reach. You want to get your message out to more people. What are some of the things you had tried to do that, to expand your reach, to get clients? What had you tried before you came across us?
So great. I love that. So one of the big things that struck home when I decided hands down, like, all right, I'm just going to come in and let's have some fun together playing, was I dabbled in everything. I mean, so I did some Insta, I did some Facebook, I did some Facebook ads, but nothing really targeted, just things that I would boost based on what I had written. I've got a newsletter community. I've done workshops. Oh gosh. Yeah. I've done pretty much where I worked to do as much as I could online with my limited knowledge, but then I also would do a ton of in-person. But none of it was just consistent in a way where it was consistent revenue, and I was constantly hitting burnout. So nothing was sustainable. Going back to health of my family and myself is really number one. And I do believe you can work smarter as well as harder.
Yep.
So it got nailed in this program. Let's just say it that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so finding a better solution to all that other stuff. And that's like, as you know, Jen, like that's pretty much what everyone does, right? Like they're doing everything and it's like, we see it all the time. So you kind of do that stuff for a long time. You're introduced to us with a smarter solution. In your mind, like, what are you thinking of in terms of like, what is this going to mean for my business? And what is this going to mean for me personally? Like, what did that conversation look like?
You mean like now, like where am I
even
at?
as you were contemplating,
well, it was a no-brainer. So for those who don't know me, right, when something resonates, I always teach this in my practice, you're to go for it, because congruency always leads to results when you commit. So for me, I just saw this as the light at the end of the tunnel where I could put in the effort that I am more than willing to do, but it would give me results that are, like you always say, and I love it, like predictably give me results that are consistent if I work hard enough. And so when I'm the limiting factor, there's no problem there. It's when I don't have the tools, I've got a problem. So the beauty is I now have all these tools in place, and me as the limiting factor, I have no problem working harder. And I know you and others have taught this. In the beginning, you have to put in tons of time, but as the business grows and becomes more sustainable and scalable, you hire teams, and I've always been interested in hiring. In fact, I'm a delegating queen. I don't believe I should be doing it all, but I didn't know what to delegate, right? I didn't have enough predictable leads coming in to delegate that much. And of course, with that is the predictable revenue. So with all that really starting to gel, I mean, sky's the limit. You could talk about where I'm headed, like sky's the limit. I wake up giddy every day.
Well, we'll get there for sure. So you come into the program, and just for everyone watching and listening, we're talking about the Health Business Accelerator. We call it HBA for short. So in your experience, like what, if we were to say like 3 parts of our coaching program made the biggest impact for you, what would those 3 parts be?
I would say the constant support, being on a journey where I can't see the finish, but there's an intense, in a really good way, amount of support every day of the week from staff. Oh my gosh, from Yuri. I mean, you know that you're in there all the time. So we're so grateful for that. So I would say support is number 1. And for me, I'm just going to say, own your weaknesses and love your strengths. And I know for me, like the tech end of stuff, I've always delegated to the point where I think I delegated most of my business away, minus the coaching part, which I love, love, love. And what I'm finding is that so many of us that come in to this program, we're similar in that we have a passion for what we do and we're really good at it, but the tech stuff has totally stopped us from scaling. So the beauty is, like, you all and your team have removed that problem from us, but you didn't just remove it. You empowered us to understand it so that we're self-reliant. And I would honestly say up till now, I have not been self-reliant. I've been super reliant on the VA. And if she leaves, oh gosh, how do I run stuff on the back end? And I just don't have that anymore. So I 100% super reliant with the tech stuff handled. And there's a whole mindset piece you've been working on with me, right? Because, you know, I'm in it 15 plus years now. This is not new to me, the coaching world, but it's amazing when you look to scale and grow bigger than what we've been comfortable doing. You gotta upgrade your mindset. You've got to, because you get what you get because it's what you think about. So you also got us to have this mindset piece. So it's not just the technical and the support, but like, what are you thinking? And it's very similar to what I teach. It's practical and it works because the results are showing up in my business. So kudos.
That's awesome.
Kudos. Yeah.
That's great. So we talked about the coaching and support, the kind of taking the tech off your plate, but at the same time, empowering you to understand it.
Yep.
And then third, obviously the mindset. That's awesome. See, it's funny because obviously we talk with all of our clients about it's tough to sell mindset. It's tough to sell something that's kind of very intangible like that, but that's the one thing that we all need. And as you mentioned, like that's a big component of what we help you guys really dial in, because there's obviously self-doubt, there's worry, there's all that kind of stuff, especially for people who start to increase their prices. They're like, oh my God, are people going to pay? Whatever. So it's been amazing to see like your transformation, a lot of other people's transformations as well. It's pretty awesome. And that's why I do what I do.
Love it.
So speaking of transformation, looking at the results that you've been able to achieve, like what results have you been able to achieve in HBA? And how has that impacted your business and your life personally?
Oh, so the first thing that came to mind was when we started talking mindset and you were like, Jen, well, you know, what's your best life number? You talk about this a lot. What is this number? And, you know, I tend to blow stuff off because overwhelm can come. So for me, I keep it simple. So, you know, get the pipeline together, right? Start getting some calls booked, and then I'll deal with this best life thing Yuri's talking about. So I got all that handled, dialed in, the right women, right? My favorite peeps started to show up, but the numbers weren't there. And you were like, well, what's your best life number? I'm like, oh dear God, I don't know. How about I dial that in? And you know what? And I put this in the group. The day I got clear on my best life number and how many calls, how many strategy sessions I wanted and how many clients a week, I started to hit it. Now I might not exactly be where I want, but I go from 3 calls a week to 7+, and it's starting to come in like it's not even next week yet. And I have about 4 already coming in and they look pretty good. Like that changes your life because then you sleep better. All my energy goes back into, okay, like the rest of my life, because I've got something that's working for me. It's my 24-hour sales force. And when that goes on, I mean, people know about energy, right? Especially if we're all, you know, health and we're coaches and practitioners. You know, energy isn't created or destroyed. Energy is only changed.
Yep.
So now I'm just literally taking all the energy out of the black hole of worry and everything else. And I go to bed like, all right, I know I got this. Salesforce is working. So excited for the morning. And another one booked while I was in yoga. You know, my whole downward dog story.
Yep.
Another one booked while I was in yoga. So
that's great.
It's refreshing, Yuri.
And for context too, you don't want to have 30 calls a week, right? Like you're busy. Like we talked about this, like, you know how many calls you want to have a week. So everyone listening and watching, it's not like Jen is like, I'm at 7 calls and I want 50. It's like, you want 7. What was your number? Like, is it like 10 calls a week or somewhere around that?
Oh no, I wanted 7.
Yeah.
And consistently 1 client a week would be incredible, but 2 new clients would change the financial history of my family. And we talked about this, you know,
totally.
Fill college accounts, calm me down. I mean, we do vacations now and other stuff, but it's the stuff that we never get to. Mm-hmm. It's a win-win. I get to help these women that could not find me up till now, and I get to take care of my family. It's a win-win, Yuri. And yeah, so I got 3 kids. We'll talk about it. I'm getting in an RV. I don't want any of that. I want 7. And it's predictable because I've been hitting that number. And now it's a matter of with all the support, right? Getting my mindset in place so that those women can get out of their own way. God bless them. Right. And come into the program. So
that's awesome.
That's the predictability piece that I'm honestly having a love affair with.
Yeah, totally. And not that you have to mention the price of your program or anything, but just again, for context, you know, 1 or 2 clients, we're not talking about a client who's paying you like $50 a session. Like we're talking about premium prices, guys. So for Jen to bring in 1 or 2 clients, that's a 6-figure business right there, you know, a week, easily. So you mentioned the RV. This has been a fun journey of yours. So can you tell us about, like, you're doing all of this, okay? So you're doing everything in HBA, building up, like ramping up this business. And talk to us about what's going on for you personally at the same time, because I think this is a really, really important reminder, guys, that your ducks are never going to be in a row. Stuff is always going to be going on in your life. And Jenn, you're a great example of someone who just said, you know what, I'm just going to do this anyways. So talk to us about what you've been able to do over the last couple months personally with the house and the RV and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, the beauty is, let's just go there real quick. Okay. So we're getting in an RV. It's 10 plus years in the making. And last year we sat down and we said, hey, we just had to put a stake in the ground the way you teach, but we did it around our personal life goals. And we said, okay, so we're going to move in a year. We're going to sell the house. We're going to sell everything. We're going to take the 3 kids. We're going to figure out how to homeschool. We're going to buy this beautiful motorhome, and we're just going to travel the entire country while I work out of the RV, and my husband sells part of his business and works out of it as well. And keep in mind, I didn't have a sustainable business. I'm like, I guess I'll do workshops. I'll get a few clients here and there, but I knew we were going regardless. And then several months ago, you know, this opportunity came up with you all, and I was like, I think I could do this. I think I could make my system predictable and then be able to get into, forgive me for that doorbell, for me to be able to get into this RV, homeschool, and do all this other stuff. And what you said is so true. So wherever you focus, you see results. So I really needed to streamline. I needed to say no to pretty much everything else other than HBA, my children. I needed to hire out and get some help to cook and do other things. And it's been life-changing. And I can't say enough about the predictability. And I love what you said, because you say it all the time. There is no right time. Mm-hmm. I just trusted. It felt right. And it's happening. So my husband's actually picking up the RV today.
Nice.
30 days out, the system is working. It's getting stronger every day. And I 100% agree. If you keep it simple, and I do just what I need to every week. Like now I'm at the point where Facebook ads is my real focus, mm-hmm. and dialing in my message. It's just not as hard as it seems. I just want to say that for someone who's super not tech savvy, although mm-hmm. I've gotten so much better, it's possible. It's totally possible. And you create how much you want. You want 5 a week, the system will do it. You just, mm-hmm. right? We talked about it. More ad spend, more focus. For me, I want 2 a week, and I want to be on the road in Arizona, hanging out with my family, knowing that Mondays and Wednesdays between 11 and 2 are the only times I take calls.
That's great.
Talk about feeling empowered. So I'm forever grateful. You know that. Forever
That's awesome.
Grateful. Yeah.
So complete this sentence. I almost didn't join HBA because...
because I knew I was getting in an RV, and what if the overwhelm that used to come over me came over me this time, and I didn't see the results mm-hmm. that I was really feeling that I would get from what you guys said you would deliver. Cool.
Awesome. So like healthy skepticism, and obviously time crunch and all that good stuff, which is, I think, is a very common objection or place for a lot of people to be in, which is totally fine. So who would if you were speaking with someone or just, in general, who would you recommend to HBA, like, and why?
Oh, health practitioners who know their craft, who know they have a bigger message. And up till now, it's not been anything having to do with them and their energy, because Lord knows I have enough of that to light 10 city blocks. But it's this predictable system that up till now you haven't been able to find. And everyone is ready to sell you something. But the beauty is when it's congruent, like I said, and the message resonates, Yuri, anything is possible. I mean, for me to pull off what I did after 15 years of doing it a different way and see what I'm seeing after, honestly, it was after 4 short months, and now it's 6 short months. I'm an entirely different person, and I have a business now that is scalable. That's life-changing in 6 months. 6 months can go by like that.
Yep.
15 years went by like that. And in 6 months, everything has changed. It's possible. It's the coolest thing ever.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, 6 months. Imagine where you'll be in 15 years from now, right? That's pretty exciting.
I know. When you say that, I'm thinking 1 year from now. We're out of the RV. I bought a house. So that's my goal. You teach that, and I really appreciate it. My goal is to be able to put a down payment, not touching any of the money that from the sale of the house, and like Jenn Edden coaching generates the down payment for our next house, since we're not going to have one. So I got big goals, Yuri.
Well, you will get there, my dear. I have no doubts, and obviously rather quickly and much more quickly than 15 years. So Jen, thank you so much for opening up kind of
Welcome.
the kimono, sharing about your story, your journey, and just being super candid about this whole process. Guys, if you're watching this or listening to this and you want to be the next Jenn Edden, but yourself, obviously a better version of yourself, a better version of your business, listen, we can help you. I mean, Jen mentioned if you're really good at what you do, if you're an expert in your craft and you can help people, but you just need a better system, we've got it, right? And if you show up and do the work just like Jen has, you can create some amazing things in your business. So here's what I want you to do right now. If you're listening to this, go to healthpreneurgroup.com/grow. And you'll land on a page where you can book in a time to chat with us if you're interested in making a lot more money and helping a lot more people. And if you're watching this on YouTube or somewhere on this page, there should be a link around it that you can click as well. It'll take you through the same process. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Jen, thank you so much.
Welcome,
I appreciate you. I appreciate the way you show up for your clients in the world, for our clients as well. And wish you all the best for just amazing success and fulfillment as you continue your awesome journey. So thanks so much.
Thanks.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us on this episode of the Healthpreneur Podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode, here's what I'd like you to do right now. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Healthpreneur Podcast on iTunes. And while you're there, leave us a rating or review. It helps us get in front of more people and change more lives. And if you're ready to start or scale your health or fitness coaching business and want to start getting in front of more people, working with them at a higher level without trading time for money, then I invite you to check out our free 7-figure health business blueprint training. Totally free right now, and you can do so at healthpreneurgroup.com/training. For now, thank you so much for joining us. Continue to be great, do great, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.